First ever episode of Sports Hangover.
One more time.
We're
We are
here
recording now.
with the Sports Hangover. Hangover, that was horrible. I'm Nathaniel Kane,
I'm Dan Hendricks.
and we're going to talk about how crappy yesterday was.
Because it was pretty crappy.
I wake up, I'm all happy, it's Sunday, football Sunday, and then that game had to happen.
Well, the hardest part about that game was the way the defense started out. You know, they came out strong. Wasn't the best performance, but it was clearly going to be strong enough to keep us in the game. And all we needed was some offense.
And after that first
Why
play,
couldn't we get any?
that first play, Hilu runs for 16 yards, and you're like, it's here,
Looks
we're
promising.
on.
Yeah.
And then John Beck just proceeds to make every wrong decision. Gaffney's in the flat, wide open. Gaffney's streaking down the field. Hankerson streaking down the field. He's got his hand in the air. Nobody's throwing the ball. Where was Anthony Armstrong yesterday? That's what I want to know.
Right. No, that's been a reoccurring theme of his, to just kind of disappear as the game goes along. And to make sure that he's not a deep threat, and to make sure that Anthony Armstrong is losing time to what's-his-face, Mr. Dante Stallworth is
Dante, yeah, and again, he wasn't there.
Mr. Invisible.
Hankerson looked okay. They weren't really throwing him the ball, but he caught it twice on that one catch. That wasn't very impressive.
Well, he's running the correct routes, so that's a start.
Well, now he is, because that was the problem
Exactly.
early on. And the offense, I mean, Halu's catching everything, but they just wouldn't stop throwing it in the flats. They wouldn't take a shot deep.
Right. Well, I mean, again, and I've been, you listen to the fan, the guys go on and on about how big a junk our quarterbacks are, and I'm not going to completely argue with them, but at the same time, the coaches were clearly drilling in his head all week that he can't make mistakes, and can't turn the ball over, and has to get rid of the ball. So those are almost the three talking points for him, Get rid of the ball, don't make mistakes, and I guess be secure with the football.
But I don't know what it was. He was just making the wrong read time after time.
But as a result of those three things being a priority of his, getting the ball downfield was never it never reached the forefront of his brain, it seemed.
And we ran out of time. We lost that game. They did not win that game by any stretch of imagination.
Well, and
in that fourth quarter, he finally got things going.
I mean, Frank Gore ran the ball pretty well all game.
He played, but
I mean, when the defense.
Why is London Fletcher covering Vernon Davis one-on-one? Tell me who.
What?
London Fletcher. What universe do we live in where London Fletcher can cover any tight end, really?
Well, who else would you have covering him? I mean,
safety. You have to drop a safety on him. There has to be Landry, which they did. They did have Landry on him several times. You could see one-on-one. They played a lot of man.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of, but in the NFL it seems to work more than like in college or other things like that.
Well, when you got guys missing assignments, you got London Fletcher yelling at Laurent Landry because they're playing a zone and they can't stay in their zone because Landry can't help but guess every other play. You have to play man because that's the easiest way to let somebody know, hey, this is what your assignment is.
Reed
Stick
had
with
that
that guy.
big missed tackle on that big Frank Gore run.
Reed Dowdy,
should have been. It was 3rd and 2, I believe, and he has him dead to rights for half a yard carry.
Well, yeah, but knowing Frank Gore, and I mean, we all know how feeble Reed Dowdy is, so odds are he probably gets that first down anyways. Keeps the drive going.
Really disappointed.
Well, the problem there is, again, it's a complete lack of depth. Lack of depth. And we know, I mean, you keep hearing from Shanahan since the game has happened that, from both of them, Kyle and Mike, that injuries are the problem. And that because of injuries, we're too young in too many places, and so you can't really expect much out of such a youthful group.
It was nice to get Trent Williams back. That was huge. I thought he was playing all right until that stupid penalty. I lost all respect for Justin Smith. I thought he was a stand-up guy. That was embarrassing to watch him flop like that, floundering, waving his arms.
Right.
Oh, look at how I got hit. But Trent Williams still shouldn't have pushed him in the back.
No, he definitely earned that penalty with his performance.
But the offsetting, it should have offset, I don't know.
No, I think the rule specifically
what should have happened was we should have gotten the first down, and that was a dead ball play. The whistle had already blown 15 from the end of the play, so it should have been 1st and 25 from the 15 yards back from the spot, right? Because that's a post. That didn't happen during the play. It was unnecessary roughness after, I thought.
Yeah.
It seemed to me the play was over, so it
play
should have been enforced.
The play was clearly over. I mean, Justice Smith was clearly provoking. Was it Taylor that he was
hurt? No,
Maurice Hurt.
Who was a rookie.
Right, who is a rookie, and that is probably why Trent Williams felt the need to kind of support his young lineman.
boy,
Yeah, exactly.
But that's not. I mean, Trent Williams is supposed to be this upstanding guy. I mean, he's boys almost with Goodell. Remember when he got drafted, Silverback.
Right.
I thought that was hysterical. I loved it. I loved how Goodell was interacting with him.
Well, on top of that, now you've got, I guess you got your Nebraska core starting to get some starts. Why didn't we see as much of Niles Paul out there?
I don't know, but on that one return he had, he looked like he was dragging.
Yeah, like you might
Brandon
have been a
Banks
little hurt.
couldn't get it going in the return game.
Well, and then there's another issue with Shanahan's roster moves. I mean, we keep 7, 8 wide receivers, and one of those guys is Dante Stallworth, who's old, and it's pretty much an older version who you would think is more secure, is better at catching the ball than Anthony Armstrong. But he hasn't proven himself to be a higher commodity than Armstrong is. All we got to do is maybe bring Armstrong along. It seems like Armstrong is just dejected on all levels. Like there's 8 other receivers there that he's competing with, 7, 6, whatever you want to put it at.
What would you think about them bringing in T.O.? I think that'd be a cool, interesting move. Could bring some life. He's obviously a big physical target.
Well, the only reason I see it happening is because Dan Snyder wants to sell some tickets, and he knows his team is some doo-doo.
So we could definitely get a couple more W's this year. I'm not packing it in. I refuse to pack it in.
Well, you just look at the schedule, and it's hard to see where the W's are going to come.
Divisional games. We can always win a divisional game. Miami would play in Miami this week. That could be a win.
That could be a win, but if you saw how Miami played this last week,
I mean, they could easily have a letdown. The most interesting storyline I came out of this weekend with had nothing to do with the games that were played on Sunday. Actually, it was an interesting story that developed for me. The whole Peyton Manning debate. He said that if they had the chance to draft Luck, they should, and that he should start from day one, just like he did. He doesn't. He's not down for the whole mentor thing. You'd think he would be, but he's really not. So they can get out of his contract this year, like people have already said. There's a period between March 3rd and March 8th, which is when they have to determine whether they want to get rid of him or what his contract status is, where they can actually trade him before free agency starts. And how cool would it be if Peyton Manning played for the Redskins? Snyder loves the big names, and you could get a year out of Manning. I mean, he could be the bridge because we're looking for a bridge right now, right?
So you're saying there's an issue with his contract that they could get out of that contract?
They
or
definitely
they would
can.
trade him.
Either or.
All right, well, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back after these messages.